see so many familiar and new faces able to join us here in Helsinki today. My name is Brendan Carney. I'm the country manager for ReadPeak Sweden.
Hi, my name is Ville and I'm in charge of the performance here in ReadPeak Helsinki. And today's topic is the native advertising study. And we thought with Brendan that before we kind of zoom into Nordics, we zoom out to global.
You or me, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this being the 10-year anniversary of ReadPeak, I think it's quite useful to look at the progress of native over the last 10 years. It was, in fact, 2014 when native was first added to the open RTB specs, making it programmatically available to buyers. In that time, revenue has grown significantly, looking set to surpass 86 billion euros in 2024. As advertisers are looking to shift from traditional advertising formats to more engaging and integrated content. I think over that 10 years, native growth in ad spend in native has kind of followed another trend, which is an increase in investment in content creation. And that looks set to continue also, with the IAB predicting investment in content creation growing by 25% this year. So why did we do this survey? I think if you look online, it's quite easy to find information about native advertising in larger markets like the US, UK, maybe Europe as a whole. When we tried to find information just focusing on the Nordics, there wasn't a huge amount. This being our home region, founded in the Nordics, we thought it was interesting to take a closer look. We had a few theories that there are some things that sets this region apart from other places, and we wanted to test that. I think also customer feedback is extremely important to us. We think that the data here could be useful to our clients, advertisers, publishers, but also for ourselves in influencing our product roadmap and our go-to-market strategies. So how did we do the survey, Ville?
Yeah, I got the manual version now, but the survey was 10 to 15 questions, kind of depending on if you said yes to something or no to something, then the question changes a little bit. A lot of multi-choice options and stuff like that. We did the survey with SurveyPoll, gathered the data in August and September. And then for the distribution, we got a lot of help from our colleagues in IAB Finland and IAB Sweden, and also Markkinointikollektiivi, so cheers for that. And then we did some LinkedIn posts and paid advertising. I'm quite happy. Overall, we got 120 participants. There's the country kind of share, Finland leading there a little bit, but still kind of good mix of all of the markets present. And same with roles. Agencies seem to dominate a bit, but still a good share of advertisers and publishers as well.
So a good number of respondents split across 4 different markets with different roles within native advertising. I think it's a reasonable sample size to draw some good conclusions. So let's dive into some results. Where are we now, Ville?
Yeah, so I guess the first point is that amongst the participants, it seems that native advertising has become a mainstream format. Then if we jump into the budget sums, it says that 65% of the campaigns have budgets of 2,000 euros to 10,000 euros, which is already kind of good size budgets. And then if we also put in the annual spend amount, which brands say that 30% of the brands say that 20 to 50,000 euros is spent annually. So I think this gives quite good picture that native is here, it's being used, and it's kind of a concrete part of the marketing strategies for brands.
So 120 respondents, significant investors within native advertising. A reasonable set of data, I think.
Yeah, and here we broke down a little bit the campaign budget on market sizes. And you can clearly see that the campaign budget size varies a bit depending on which market you are and so forth. What stands out, Finland has the largest share of the smallest budgets. And then Finland, Sweden, Norway are more kind of similar. There's more diversity and larger investments in there. And then now Norway stands out with the largest amount of bigger budgets. So it seems that the investment level for native in Norway is a little bit higher than in other Nordic markets. Overall, I think that this kind of reflects quite well also the market sizes or the digital spend sizes in these markets, and it might also indicate something on the economical situation in these Nordic markets for the past few years. Then we could lead out to the format stuff. Can you take over?
Yeah, so quite clearly we have a winner. Majority of respondents seeing native advertising as a traffic-driving ad format, 86% using it for that reason. But up to half of them are looking for content or native ads that are blended in very well with the content they sit amongst, so native article type advertising. For me, quite interesting, a good proportion of people are using this to extend the reach of their social media campaigns. And potentially, possibly that's easy to understand, as we saw earlier, social audiences are becoming more fragmented. On some platforms, they might be aging, harder and harder to reach. Add to that, competition is increasing. There's more competition from other advertisers than ever. So this could be a potentially good option to increase the reach there. Good number of people running video formats as well. So fair bit of variation in the kind of purpose of the native ads.
Well, do you then think that this aligns with the top objectives for native advertising campaigns?
Yeah, we can see a trend forming here. 71% of people saying that they're focusing on these ads to drive traffic. But interestingly, similar number seeing this as a mid to upper funnel format. So branding and awareness is important too. With a great many also looking at measurable outcomes like purchase, conversion, etc., engagement metrics, etc. So I think we've seen this trend forming over the last few years. We've had a few difficult years economically, potentially. What we're hearing from advertisers is the CFO's voice is more heard than ever before within the marketing department. And so there's this need for measurable outcomes on all of your different activities that you're doing. And potentially native is seen as this multi-purpose tool that satisfies multiple objectives within the marketing funnel.
So what do you think, is it kind of, when we have those objectives, does these key metrics match that?
Yeah, unsurprisingly, I think if you're running a traffic driving format, large number of people using CTR as their core KPI. But again, further backing up this measurable outcomes and multiple different objectives, large number of people looking at engagement metrics, prioritizing quality traffic, so looking at the sources of that traffic, the bounce rate, dwell time, and a good number of people looking at conversion rates as well.
Yeah, but of course it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's the usual suspects, so the low CTR, high CPC being challenges for both advertisers and agencies, maybe high CPC a little bit more for advertisers. And then other factors is reach limitations. That's more kind of concern for agencies. And then no conversions. No conversions is a bigger concern for advertisers. It might be that maybe agencies in general have bigger budgets to run or different objectives in the campaign, so the reach is a bigger factor. While then it might be that advertisers are more focused on the actual ROI or the kind of that you actually get some measurable results out of the campaign. And then other factors, agencies report more technical issues, while then advertisers focus more on budget constraints and accessibility to the platforms. So kind of there seems to be quite a bit of differences, and I guess it's agencies more often grapple with technical and operational challenges, then advertisers focus more on performance, cost, and platform accessibility.
So I think that gives us a pretty good summary of where we are today. What's next? What's coming in the future?
Yeah, to be honest, this slide to me is very positive. So over 90% of the participants say that their native advertising budgets are going to stay the same or grow within the next 12 months. And then if we also compare this to the expected growth rate for programmatic display in Europe, which is 9.5% for this year, it might be that native might be growing same pace with display, or even outpace it in some areas. So overall, positive signals for native in the future. So here's some factors, Brendan, you want to open up a little bit that could fuel the growth?
Yeah, so when surveyed or when questioned, what's causing you to increase your investments in native advertising? Well over half identifying as the need for quality traffic as a reason to increase spend in native. Perhaps unsurprisingly, as they're increasing their spend in content creation, they need quality users to come through to their sites and consume that. Almost 40% looking to improve their overall campaign effectiveness. So again, we see this kind of vision of it being a multi-purpose tool, being able to integrate into a broader full funnel marketing strategy with measurable outcomes. This is seen as a good option to help improve that. 30% of people citing improved targeting as a reason to be investing in native. So I love that from Teddy's talk there. Context is the new cookie. I'm going to steal that 100%. But yeah, this is a conversation that refuses to go away. It's getting harder and harder to identify audiences and target them using personal data. Native works in a different way. It's seen as an alternative option where context is driving where the ads are delivered.
So I guess if those are the kind of key growth fuelers, so can we also see the same things in the future trends? What does people want?
Yeah, so when asked what they would like to see improvements on or what to come further down the pipeline, that jumps up to 45% seeking out better targeting capabilities. So interesting for us, we know there's an opportunity to improve our capabilities within targeting. Similar number talking about measurement tools. Again, that seems obvious. If you're more about measurable outcomes, you need to be able to track those and understand how well the campaign is performing and if it's doing the job properly. And bang on 40% looking for more innovative ad formats. As advertising year after year gets more and more competitive, audiences get more and more fragmented, new and innovative standout ad formats is a way to cut through that noise and get your brand recognized above your competition. So there we have it. In conclusion, I'd say within the Nordics, native is seen primarily as a mid and upper funnel ad unit. I said at the beginning we had some certain theories about the Nordics as a market in general. I believe this makes it stand out from other mature markets within Europe where it's very often seen as a lower funnel format. I think there's a few things that might have influenced that. The publishing landscape here is quite unique. In each of the 4 countries you have a handful of very powerful publishers who have done a very good job at promoting native and getting advertiser and agency awareness of the format up. But also I think Reed Peak, having been here for the last 10 years, maybe we can take some credit for that. I think the need to measure outcomes across all different channels makes tracking more important than ever. Native is going to grow in line with the increased investment in content creation. And there's an opportunity to introduce innovative ad formats to help meet this demand. So, thank you very much. So, I'm not sure if we've had any questions from the question wall, if we have time to take some.
And one note, we will publish a full report on the study, not next week, but within a few weeks, and it will be sent to all the attendees. And we will also publish it on our site at least and put it out in LinkedIn and stuff like that.
Exciting news to come, right? Thank you again, Ville and Brendan. And now, was it Martin from Reed Peak who was moderating those questions? Have we got any questions or comments for our gentleman here?
Yes, Anna. We have a couple of questions. First of all, someone asked, we get the slides.
Ooh, that is a good question.
That's a good one.
In some form, yes. Maybe not the exact this one, but yeah, it will be the same stuff in the full report.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Then we have one. Reed Peak planning to extend the format types and make a video format or any other new formats?
In short, yes.
Yeah, not to spoil anything that's coming later. Yeah, absolutely, we're working on a number of new ad formats. Perhaps most excitedly, video. So 100%.
Ooh, exciting news. Any other questions there?
Yeah, we have a detailed one. What is a good CTR?
To be honest, it depends where you are, I guess. In Nordics, I would say from 0.4 to 0.6. That's at least okay. If it's good, then that's debatable.
Yeah, it really depends on where you are. Like the publishers in each different market have implemented native in different ways. My market is Sweden. I'd say 0.5% is a reasonable benchmark there. But if you go to the UK, maybe you can expect slightly less. Ads are smaller, pages are busier. So if you want benchmarks for your specific market, reach out to one of us and we'll be happy to share that.
Yeah, I think that could be a good game for the after work or then the party later on, that you start asking the CTR every hour and it usually gets higher all the time.
Good ideas coming up for later. All right, thanks again, Ville Vekolainen, and thanks, Brendan Carney.
Thank you very much.
All right.